Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to another live broadcast. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tristan Griffiths, and you can find me as I'm Tristan G across all the socials. Now, today I want to talk to you about overwhelm when it comes to social media. Whether it's content creation or simply keeping up to date with what's going on social media, a lot of businesses are struggling with that overwhelm factor. If you find yourself struggling to know what's happening, what's changed, how you should use these platforms, maybe even coming up with content ideas or knowing the exact way to create the best content, whether it's on Reels on Instagram, maybe it's for TikTok, maybe it's understanding the ins and outs of Snapchat. There are so many constant changes within social media that actually it can seem a little overwhelming. And if you are overwhelmed, don't worry. Other people are going through this as well all the time. And I want to put your mind at rest that this is much more common than you might think. Now, if you're tuned in, whether you're live or on the replay, please do let me know whether you're live or on the replay in the comments. I love to connect with you, to engage and to answer your questions. So if there's things I can do to help you around the marketing sphere of social media, content creation and live streaming, please do ask those questions down in the comments, whether you're live or on the replay, and I'll come back and answer as many of those as possible. Now, one of the reasons that people get overwhelmed by social media and content creation is simply because it's such a fast-paced, quick-changing industry, and there are so many different options available to you. Now, do I take up Snapchat? Do I have to do TikTok? How many hours should I be spending? How much should I be posting? All of these questions that people are constantly asking themselves is a major factor in that overwhelm. Now, It's Nomad 9 and In9 Media are focused on removing the overwhelm from content creation, live streaming and social media. And we want to help you to understand that it doesn't need to be as complicated, as difficult and as challenging as you might be feeling right now about social media. Yesterday I talked a little bit about how to constantly come up with new content ideas. You're literally surrounded by them all the time, and what's not happening is people are really focused on content creation. And when we teach and train about this, we talk about the problem with talking about content creation is a lot of people find or think that they are not creative. The reality is everybody has the ability to create for social media, but actually we decided that if you talk more about content documentation, it becomes easier. If you're running a business and you want to create content for your business, there's lots of things that you already do that if you document it will give you a wealth of content for social media. Now, the changes that come along with social media, there's a variety of different ways that you can keep up to date with what's happening without it becoming overwhelming. One of the things we've done to help a lot of businesses here in the UK, America, Australia and Canada, and obviously anyone else who's tapping into that, but specifically in those regions, is we've created online communities and forums where people can be in those, and we literally made that a free community that people can access the latest updates, the latest changes, and we focus on not just what's changing, but what's changing, how it impacts you and what you can do to leverage it for your business. So if you're not in one of those communities that we run right now, let me know down in the comments and I'll make sure that we send you the links. You can come and join us and you can allow us to keep you up to date. As part of our job, we have to keep up to date with what's changing in social, what's working, and helping people to understand that is one of the core services that we run at In9.media. And I want to make sure that you know, if you're connected to me, if you're watching these broadcasts, that that's available to you. A lot of business owners assume that people know more about their business than maybe they do. Maybe you haven't been regularly communicating. Maybe you haven't been regularly showing up on social media. And it's an all too common problem that I hear from business owners, that people that they know have not taken their services simply because they weren't front of mind. Now, that's why we do content creation. That's why we show up regularly and consistently on social media. You have to remind people what you do, how you can help them, what's available to them from you, from your business and from your brand. If you're not spending time doing that, then you are missing great opportunities. I actually, in the mentoring service that we run in In9.media, where we help people to focus on the right things, to set the the goals that are most important right now, keeping some accountability, training them in how to do things. I actually do a session that's called Money on the Table, and it's talking about the opportunities that you may be missing that are really simple, really quick and easy to implement. And when we run this session, people go away and they put all the strategies into place, and instantly they can make more money with very little effort. And the reality is, every single business that I've met has money on the table. Things that they've not considered, things that they're not doing, but with a tiny little tweak of what they're doing in their operations and how they're showing up on digital and social and how they're communicating, would suddenly increase the money coming in literally over the next few weeks. So the mentoring side of that is something that we provide in 9.media. We have different options, like there's the free community that we run that literally is there to keep you up to date with what's changing in social, how it impacts you and what you should do. The mentoring side we run as a group or as a one-to-one service, depending where you're at and where you're operating in your business. But the reality is, the overwhelm factor that most people are feeling, and why we at It's Nomad 9 and in 9.media decided to focus and double down on removing the overwhelm from social media content creation and live streaming, is because it's common. It is very common to struggle with staying on top of what's changing, staying on top of what the current trends are, staying on top of what you should be doing, where you should be spending time, new emerging and evolving platforms. So we wanted to make it easy. I have to study it, the team are learning things all the time, and we have lots of conversations within our organisation about what's changing, what's working. We're testing and trialling. We're very well connected to other people who work across other social platforms, and we get that feedback, we get that information. And because there's more data for us to work with, because we work with other organisations and we work running and managing social media for other people, it makes it easier for us to explain to people across different industries how it would impact them and what they need to do. So if you find yourself struggling, don't worry about it. You're not on your own. It's not an isolated thing for you. Lots of people feel overwhelmed by content creation, social media, constantly coming up with ideas, knowing what to post, where to post, when to post, how to create the content. And so we have a variety of things that can help you with that. Now, it's not the purpose to sell to you. I actually would love for people to come and join our free social media training community that we created. We've got it on Facebook, and we also have it over on in9.media. Now, on our own website, we have actually got, it looks and feels quite a lot like Facebook, and I want to encourage you to go and have a look at it. So if you've not been there, if you've not checked it out, then I want to encourage you to go across to in9.media and take a look at the website. Sign up. It's completely free to come and join us over there. But I want to help you understand that the help and support is there, and you don't have to go and wade through lots of videos or lots of content online to work out what's working right now. We break it down on a regular basis, what the change has been, how it impacts you, and what you need to do to best leverage it for your business. We give real life case studies, and we break down like how those things have worked and why they've worked. In any given situation, you need to know how, what, and why, otherwise you won't do it. Back when Snapchat was a big thing, we introduced a high-end business coach onto Snapchat for the first time, and actually when they signed up and they understood how, what and why, because up until we spoke to them one of those things was missing, they signed up, and in the first 10 days they made $11,000, which went on to be $67,000, $68,000 over the next 8 weeks, which is one channel of social. Yes, they obviously already had a lot of the business structure there. Yes, they had the things ready to sell. So depending where you're at in business, you might be needing to look at parts of your sales process. Social media isn't just the marketing. It can be customer service. It can be the sales side. And a lot of businesses neglect some of those elements. They don't look at all the different opportunities and the different ways that you can show up and connect with people. Ultimately, social media has allowed us to go beyond the people that we know directly. It's allowed us to start conversations and communicate more effectively with a larger audience than we've ever been able to before. It's removed geographic barriers. It's allowing us to connect far beyond where we were based. So think about how your business can help and serve a larger community. How can you show up more consistently, more regularly? And what do you need to do in your business to change that? Because those tiny little changes, those systems and processes that you put in place are going to remove the overwhelm. You're not overwhelmed when you know how to do things, when you've got a structure in place and you have a strategy and a system. So if you're struggling with strategies and systems and processes in your business to make sure that you're consistent, to make sure that you're not getting overwhelmed, then reach out to us. Like I said, you can find me as I'm Tristan G across all the socials. Drop me a message on the platform that you most enjoy spending time on, because I want to help remove that overwhelm for you. I want nobody who's seen this video or that follows me to be struggling with being overwhelmed. I don't want anyone to struggle with coming up with content ideas. I don't want people to struggle with knowing what to do, how to do it, and why they should be doing it. So how, what, and why is the focus that I have on helping people to understand how social media works or can work for their business. We hear all the time from people that doesn't work, and they're talking about specific things. Maybe it's a platform, maybe it's a content type, maybe it's a marketing strategy. The reality is it does work, because the things that we're teaching, training, and showing you are taken from real life examples. They're taken from proven strategies and models. When people say that doesn't work, what they mean is it hasn't worked for me yet. The reality is a lot of people make big sweeping statements and they make claims about what they believe to be true without necessarily having tried enough varieties or different ways of approaching it in order to get that result. Like, I can speak from a place of experience, having been in the industry for a long time, that we've seen so many people who thought things didn't work make really small changes and get huge impact. The joys of social media is if you do social media well and you create good content around your business and you're focused on your customer and delivering for them, what you do is you create digital assets. When we talk about this, a digital asset is anything that serves your business for longer than the time it takes you to create. So this video, for example, you'll notice that I say, whether you're watching live or on the replay, please do ask your questions down in the comments. The reason for that is this is a digital asset. Every time I go live, that video stays online after I finish. So if I spend 10 minutes or an hour creating content, that is 10 minutes or an hour that can be viewed later on, that can be used as other pieces of content, that we can take pieces out maybe for stories, maybe put it over on IGTV, things like that, where we can't live stream directly, but that allows us to actually go and do the work once but get multiple results. The asset is there for us to use, and so many people create constantly but don't use the assets that they already have. If you've already done a great video around a topic, have you turned that into a blog? Have you turned that into social media updates? Have you taken the small snippets? Because here's the thing, if your business is niche and does one or two things and you do it really well, what you need to do is keep people reminded that you are an option. If you're not front of mind when the time comes for them to make a purchasing decision, you're not going to get the sale. It's going to be annoying, it's going to be frustrating, but never assume that people that you know what you do. You have to communicate it, and it might feel like you're becoming a little bit like a parrot and that you're doing that. It's finding different ways to share the same information so that it resonates with different people. Different people need to hear it differently, and so you need to constantly be talking about what you do and how you can help people. Remember that you're not going to be able to dictate or decide when somebody needs your products or services. What you need to do is ensure that you are available to them, that you are front of mind, and that they know that you can provide a solution or you can provide something that they need when they need it. You can't decide when that will be, and therefore you have to stay front of mind. You have to have content out there that they can find. You have to be available. They have to know what you do, because if they don't know what you do, how can you possibly expect them to buy from you? Content creation is not complicated. Like I said, I prefer to refer to content documentation, because a lot of it actually comes down to documenting the things that you already do. If you're already providing a great service to other people, have you been getting reviews? Have you been getting feedback? Have you been getting testimonials? that give social proof to other people that what you do helps them. We get video testimonials, we get reviews, we get people actually actively advocating for our business and telling other people, because like I said, that just using that money on the table training example, those people tell other people. They'll go and say, wow, couldn't believe it, it was really easy, here's all I had to do. And those people then want to know how to do it. So those people can help you expand your reach. They can help you reach other people. I've been doing a whole series that started this week around hospitality. So the hospitality industry, bars, clubs, restaurants, coffee shops, cafes, hotels, B&Bs, that kind of thing. And I'm talking about how as a business, you have a bubble of customers and people who know you or that you're connected to. But if you really want to get outside that, if you really want to expand, if you really want to bring in new business, you actually have to work with the people that are already in there. I wear a lot of our own brand t-shirts. Today I'm in a Trust Equity t-shirt, but yesterday I was wearing my Build Ecosystems t-shirt. And it's so true that in digital marketing, in your business, in person, out in the world, you have to create ecosystems around your business. If you're not creating an ecosystem, then it's going to be hard work all the time. If you don't know what I mean when I talk about building an ecosystem, it's having an environment that is conducive to keeping people inside it, getting people to advocate, getting people to know what you can do, and to stay actively involved. For example, with our ecosystem at in9.media, we have a free social media training group, but we also have mentoring, we also have other options that people can take up, but we never actually sell from our free group. It's one of our big commitments to not be a community where the purpose of a free group is to sell something, but the reality is people get to a point where they've had enough free help and now they want to fast track, they want to ask for that help, and that keeps us front of mind. By doing that free community, we stay front of mind to help people. A lot of businesses are scared to put out information onto the internet because, well, if I give that away, what am I going to sell later? The reality is information is abundant and readily available at our fingertips thanks to Google and all the other content creation and management services that are on the web. So information isn't the key. Implementation is what people are going to pay for. So if you're sat there thinking, I don't know how to do the content, I don't know how to keep up with things, the implementation of staying on top of that is why you might come to us. So we will be able to help remove that overwhelm, help you build a strategy to stay consistent and help you to build your business and go out and grow rather than just stay where you are. Like I said, that ecosystem you build is keeping people engaged. It's staying front of mind. It's helping people to make more informed decisions about doing business with you. A lot of people expect people to make a purchasing decision, but when we scratch the surface and we look a little bit harder at what they've been doing, what they've been creating and how they've been doing it, whether that's physical, in person, like leaflets and brochures and things like that, or digital printed marketing, and their digital marketing, their social, their website, their SEO, they haven't actually got the full package in place. They're not looking at all the different ways to engage, to stay present, to stay front of mind, and actually to show people what it could be like doing business with them. For us, when I do my 20-minute free strategy calls, which anybody can book in my calendar, I treat those people like they are a one-to-one mentoring customer. And a lot of people can't understand why we do that, so I'm just going to quickly explain. If you wanted to do business with us, maybe you knew someone who'd done business with us, maybe you found us through a piece of content, I want you to experience what it feels like to do business with us. I can't expect you to part with money to work with us unless you've got a real strong feeling about how that's going to work. So treating you as a one-to-one customer, solving your problems, showing you what exactly you can get in those 20-minute calls is enough that people go from 20-minute calls into services. Now, I have no problem if someone does a 20-minute call and doesn't take a service, because I also use it as an opportunity to learn and to create content from. So they're going to ask questions, they're going to, want to know things that actually are common things that other people need to know. In your business, how much are you paying attention to the language people use, what they're asking, and then creating content around that. I talked yesterday a little bit about they ask you answer when I was talking about creating content and content creation. People want to know, they want to get the answers, and some people just don't know what questions they should be asking in order to get those answers. So if you find yourself ever struggling with social media content creation or live streaming, know that in9.media and I'm Tristan G are available to you to reach out to ask those questions. If you want to do it privately in a message, great. If you want to ask a question now below this video or on the replay, please feel free to do that. I respond to people by audio notes, by videos. I literally been having a conversation with someone that I've been connected to for a while this week via video chat whilst walking in and out of town. That's how I spend my time on digital and social, and I make myself available to people so that they can get the best and the quickest answer that removes the most overwhelm, the most stress and the most pressure from them in their business. Whether they're in our free community or whether they're in our mentoring, how we provide that changes, but I want to ultimately remove the overwhelm from social media, content creation and live streaming, and help to make you and your business more productive, more efficient and more profitable. You don't necessarily have to make more money in your business to be more profitable. You can actually look at ways to save money to also be more profitable. So if you want help with any of that kind of stuff, please do drop me a message. Please do say hi in the comments. I love knowing where people are tuning in from. So if nothing else, let me know where you're tuning in from down in the comments. Again, you can find me as I'm Tristan G across all the socials. I look forward to helping you as we move forward. Remember that I go live on a regular basis across all my socials, so make sure that you give them a like and a follow. And if you've enjoyed this, let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway has been, or if you're not comfortable doing that, drop me a message and let me know. But more importantly than that, we give to people to help them, and I ask you, as we freely give this out and as we freely help and advise people in this way, that you hit that share button or you tag someone, because you never know who in your community might need this help today. Maybe someone you know is struggling with being overwhelmed by content creation and social media, and they just need to ask a few questions, or they just need pointing in the right direction. I would love to help your friends, your network and your connection to remove that overwhelm and to move their business forward. So if you can think of anybody that might benefit from this kind of help and support, tag them in the comments, hit the share button. Even if you don't know, sharing it to your wall means that someone in your community might thank you later for getting the help that you didn't even know they needed. I've been Tristan Griffiths from in9.media. You can find me as I'm Tristan G across all the socials. Please do connect with me on the platforms you most enjoy spending time on. That's it for today, but don't forget you can go and sign up on in9.media completely for free. It's our website. It's where we do teaching, training and keeping people up to date. Love to help you a little bit more. You can always reach out to me. Have an incredible day wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak to you all again very soon.